Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to my 2026 bullet journal setup. I'm really excited to show you this setup because first of all, I have a brand new notebook to show you. Second of all, I'm in my new place. I finally have my studio and my working desk in the same place together and I'm so happy. And also because the theme that I chose for this setup is really me and it's something that I'm really happy about. So December has just started, so it's time to set up our new bullet journals for next year. This is a journal that I'm going to use. This is the Sakura and Cat notebook by Tifosi. They have it in pink and also in this purpley bluish color, and I really like the design and I wanted to try a new size for 2026. I usually use A5 or Traveler's Notebook. I haven't tried the B5 yet because that sounds super big, but I wanted to try their new notebooks in a square format. This notebook contains 160 numbered pages. They have 160 GSMs thick white paper. It comes with 2 ribbon bookmarks, a back pocket, and a gold paper clip. The edges of the pages are gold and it also includes a pen holder. And I'm really excited to use a square notebook for 2026 because I cannot imagine the amount of layouts and spreads that I can do in this size of a notebook, but I'm really excited. And if you haven't tried the notebooks from Tifosi, I really recommend you do. You can use code catsplanner for 10% off, shop worldwide. They have amazing notebooks and my previous notebook was also from them, the one that I've been using since June until now December. But these designs are like no other and I really like that this notebook is a square, is pink, it has flowers and cats because I love all of those things. And the actual theme for my bullet journal for 2026 is also something that I really love, that I think it ties together with the cover of this notebook, because as you know, I always try to match the cover of the notebook with my actual theme for the next 6 months of the year. So with that all being said, let me show you what I did for my 2026 bullet journal setup. So before I move into my actual setup, I'm going to write my name in the first page of the notebook. I love that notebooks have this little space where you can write your name so we can make it more you. And I also try to add the dates where I use this notebook underneath it, but I actually have all of my notebooks dated on the spine so I know which notebook is from which time of the year. For this theme, I'm only going to use 2 colored pens. One is the Tombow 761 dual brush pen, and the other one is a brush sign pen by Pentel in this light pink color. These are 2 of my favorite brush pens to use. One is really wide and pastel, and the other is a more bold color and is a fine tip of a brush pen. These 2 are going to work really well together when it comes to creating the design that I wanted to use for this theme. Moving on into the actual cover page of my notebook, I wrote 2026 with my Sakura brush pen. This pen is amazing because it's very soft on the tip. So if you need help with calligraphy, this pen is awesome for that. I wrote 2026 right in the middle of the page in calligraphy, and then at the top I drew a bow using the Tombow dual brush pen. My whole theme for this bullet journal setup is going to be pink bows. I wanted something that would match the cover of the notebook like I mentioned, but that would also be easy to draw and really me. And the thing that was missing in this notebook was a bow, so I decided to add it as my main theme for 2026. Then to outline I used the Pentel brush sign pen that I just showed you in this darker pink color. This is actually pastel, but when you put it on top of other markers, it becomes darker. So I really like the effect that it gave to the bow. It's not too much, but it gives it some structure. So that's what I did for my 2026 cover page. And because I like to add a quote into my bullet journal in every single cover page that I do, I decided to grab one from my box of quote stickers that I have, and I chose one that says, "What is meant to be will always find a way." And I think that is going to be my motto for 2026. I want things that are meant to be in my life to meet me at the right time, and I've been feeling that lately, so I feel like that is the motto that I want to have for next year. If something happens, it's because it was meant to be. And I know that my cover page is really simple, but that was what I wanted to do for this year's theme, to create something very appealing but very simple. So I'm really happy with how it turned out, and let's move on into my future log. So the future log, if you don't know what it is basically where you write all the months of the year, and you can write there your events, appointments, tasks, due dates, everything that comes in the future. So what I do is I set up the first 6 months of the year in this case, because I use a bullet journal every 6 months, so that's what I need to do. And if I have any appointments for like July or August or September, I wrote that in my Notion main dashboard. So here in the future log, I'm just going to write the title with that Pentel Fuda touch pen, and I'm going to have the months of the year alongside each other. So 3 on the right side and 3 on the left. I'm going to use the Notebook Therapy typewriter stamps. You can use code catsplanner to shop at Notebook Therapy, but these are my favorite letter stamps because they are really small and they look like they have been typewritten onto my notebook, and I like the aesthetic of it. So I'm going to have the titles for each month, and I'm going to have the months stamped below the title for each month. And then until the end of the page, I'm going to have plenty of space to write all of my due dates, deadlines, events, birthdays, everything that comes within the month. I personally don't use a future log that much, but when I don't do it in my bullet journal, I feel the need to have it. And when I have it in my bullet journal, I don't look at it every single month. So I'm trying to build the habit of looking at it at least twice a month to know the events that are coming up. But it is a page that is really like self-explanatory, and that if you have a Google Calendar like I do that I uses every single day, it's much better to have there the events instead of in a future log. I just simply prefer to have things written down instead of just digitally. The stamps that I'm using for the monthly calendars are from Amazon because I just refuse to write every single day for 6 months straight in my bullet journal. So I just prefer to use stamps. And for the actual theme of this month, I'm going to just draw 2 bows going kind of like around the future log to kind of put everything together. I really like to do these types of things when I don't have smaller elements for the theme, and this just puts everything together and everything involved within the bow, and I really like how it turned out. And then I just divided the months with some lines vertically so I can have even more structure. For the bows, I actually didn't anticipate it to have them being outlined, but the more I did it and the more irregular it looked, the better I liked the bows to be outlined. So I just kept going, and it turned out so cute that I just kept doing irregular lines outside of the bows. They are not perfectly outlined, but that is actually what I love about drawing things in my bullet journal. They are never perfect. I don't like to have my goals just written on this page and not have an action plan for them. So this page is just for me to write the things that I like to do, and then I'm going to have an action plan either on Notion or in my bullet journal later on to actually be able to achieve them, I guess. I tried that in another year in my bullet journal, and it was kind of messy because I didn't have a good structure. So that is something that I want to implement in my life for next year. So I divided my goals into 4 sections. One is for personal goals, so anything related to myself as a person. Another one is for catsplanner, my brand. I want to have a better advent calendar next year. I want to have campaigns for products. I want to have new products and new tiers on Ko-Fi for my Ko-Fi members. I want to have so many things that I need a space just for that. And then I have another section for side projects, which is like my band and other projects that we have working on with other people. And I have a section for marriage. So any goals that we want to achieve as a married couple, I'm going to write them in here. We actually had some for this year that we achieved that we are pretty proud of, and it's just another thing to look forward to in the next year. And I thought it would look cute to add the bows in kind of like a box shape for each of the goals. So yeah, that's what I did for this page to give it a little bit more structure. My next page in this bullet journal setup is going to be my bucket list. Even though I'm not a very adventurous person and I like to do simple things in life and I'm working all the time, I still like to have a bucket list, especially if there's something that I really want to do next year. And for example, this year I wanted to go to a Saw escape room, and we went there on my birthday. I wanted to be able to do 2 push-ups that I don't think I'm going to be able to because I haven't been in the gym for like a whole month. But there are so many things that I want to do that are worth putting in a bucket list that I feel like it's a must-have in my bullet journal every year. And this bucket list spread is going to be a little bit different than the other ones that I've been doing. I'm going to have just a little section for the things that I want to do that are in my bucket list, and then the rest of the page, like these 3 quarters that are blank, are for me to add pictures of things when I do them. I thought that was really clever because I actually did a summer bucket list like this in my junk journal with another creator, and I really like how I had the items to do on one side and the photos of me actually doing the things on the other side, that I thought I'd combine them into just one page into this bullet journal setup. So this page is very empty for now, but as the year goes by, is going to be fuller and fuller, and I just feel like that is a huge motivation for me to actually do the things and take pictures. Next up, I have my actual action plan for my goals and things that I want to do throughout the year of 2026. I realized that this year, because I was moving houses and started a new job, I missed a lot on Halloween and Christmas and Black Friday as well. So that is something that I want to learn this year, that I also should have learned from past years, but that I didn't. And I'm going to have this page with all the months of the year to just write things that are going to happen. And then if Black Friday is at the end of November, I should start planning it in the beginning of October or the end of September. So this page is just for me to plan ahead. Usually we are always busy. Every day is a busy day that we don't have time to plan ahead on things that we want to do. And for example, now in December, if I want to release something for Valentine's Day, I should be working on it ASAP. Same thing for summer, my birthday, fall, Halloween, Christmas, all of those things. I want to be able to plan them ahead. And something that I really like to do every year is my stationery advent calendar for my shop. And this year was a bit of a flop. I didn't sell as many as I did from the past years. So I really want to next year to work on advertising it and working on the products better and film everything better, so you know what to expect if you buy the advent calendar. You can buy my advent calendar all year round, but for Christmas is extra special. So I really want to put more thought into it and to choose the products wisely and the little gifts that you receive every day for Christmas until the 24th. And I feel like this year I like the products that I included, but the advertising of the thing, it wasn't as good. So that is something to work on for next year. And just like I did for some of the other pages, I just drew some bows around the page because these pages need a lot of space for me to write things on once I start using them. So I thought just adding the borders with the pink bows would work perfectly in this type of spread. And my last page for the setup is going to be my entertainment page. This is a page that I added later on in my bullet journal. I think it was in mid-July when I just set up everything, and then I needed a page to write all the movies, books, TV shows, and courses that I wanted to take into my bullet journal, because I have that type of lists on Notion and Streamio and where I watch my movies and TV shows. But honestly, I needed a place where I could write everything that I wanted to watch so I could watch it next, because I have a terrible habit of rewatching shows instead of watching new ones. So this was the method that I used to actually watch new shows. So for this page, I just wrote entertainment at the top, and then I'm going to have 4 different rectangles for each of the categories of things. The first one is for movies. This is where I'm going to write all the documentaries and movies that I want to watch in 2026. The second one is for books, because I'm probably going to just read 2 books in the entire year. I don't have a lot of time to read, so I'm just going to add in here some of the books that I want to read. The third one, which is also big, is for series and animes. And the last one is for courses. And I'm going to explain what is courses in just a little bit. But in the movies and series section, I'm going to have different sections inside that big rectangle, because I need a space to write the name of the movie or TV show, and then when I watched it, if it was in January or February, and so on. And I also like to give ratings to the movies that I watch and TV shows, so I know if I liked it or not, and then I can add it to Letterboxd, which is something I'm constantly forgetting to do. For books, it's just kind of like a to-do list, and for courses, these are courses related to marketing, social media, drumming, and business in general. I want to add here any types of classes and courses that I want to take throughout 2026. I feel like we just don't have the time to learn anything nowadays because of jobs and side hustles that we have. But it's really important to actually make time to learn, for example, for me, more about marketing, social media, and music. We are finally building our band's portfolio and creating original songs, so I need to actually learn how to play drums better and to understand the tuning and being in sync with everyone and how to create drum tabs. So this is something that I really want to learn more in 2026, and I have a space for that. And to give it a little bit more structure, I just wrote lines on the movies and series section, so it's a little bit more fun to use. And these are all the collections that I'm going to have in my 2026 bullet journal. Let me know which page is your favorite and what page is a must-have in your 2026 bullet journal, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys!